Amir. D. Paula. Soraya. Samira. Pekania. Multiple individuals, multiple perspectives, each viewed through a different lens. How we view an experience, even the same experience, can be drastically different and can ultimately shape who we are and how we view life. You know, when reading various novels, it's important to understand the lens in which the author wants you to view the story. Many novels in many genres use a style of writing where each section or chapter of the book features a different character's perspective. This insight allows you to understand the reader in the multiple viewpoints and all of the emotions, all associated with the same event. Each of the books that are going to be discussed today include this style of writing and allow for the reader to truly understand the multiple perspectives within the same story that can enrich any reading experience. How It All Blew Up by Arvin Armadi, Allies by Alan Gratz, and We Are Not From Here by Jenny Torres Sanchez are the three young adult novels that will be featured in this book talk today. Each book features realistic perspectives on occurrences that are or could be based on real life. Seeing the realities of each character requires them to really understand and feel each part of the event. Are you ready to put on your reading glasses and see how each character views their story through their own lens? Interrogation room number 37. Amir. Let me get one thing straight. I'm not a terrorist. I'm gay. This is how the author, Arvin Armadi, began the novel How It All Blew Up. In an interrogation room of an airport, Amir Azadi tells how the situation he is currently in came to be. Not only is Amir Muslim American and gay, but he is also a senior in high school who is counting down the days till graduation. Amir always knew coming out to his parents was going to be really messy, but he had no idea he would end up in an interrogation room with his family, defending why they were arguing on a plane. Amir tries to explain his journey and why he had to leave the United States on the day before his graduation. While it did not make sense to his family, Amir knew it was going to be the only way he could avoid his family's disapproval. In separate interrogation room, his parents explained that Muslims are not gay. It's against their culture. They are so confused as to why Amir left the United States, and they are filled with so much emotion, wondering if they would ever get to see their son again. If it was not for Amir's sister, Soraya, his parents may have never heard from him again. Amir was fine with this. He was loving his new life and his new friends who actually accepted him for who he was. That was the most valuable part in Amir's choice to leave his home. In the story, Amir, his sister Soraya, and his parents all went back and forth with the airport officials, explaining day by day what happened and what ultimately led to the fight on the plane. Amir knew he should have handled the situation differently, but he was ready to put himself first. Not his culture, not his family, but himself. And that is why he had to leave. This book is filled with so much emotion and experience. From Amir's account to his family's account, a reader can really feel the fear of his parents, the support of his sister, and the courage he has as he meets new friends who help him flourish and embrace who he really is. Right from the start, the author is aware of the presumed stereotypical judgments that are within these first few lines. This LGBTQ+ and Muslim American experience novel helps us to understand the struggles and scrutiny that many individuals face. Amir and his family's perspectives open opportunities for new readers like you and your family to understand the same event is seen and understood differently, all based on the perspective in which we view it. Without these varying lenses that the author included in the novel, we would not be able to understand the story and experience it as it was truly intended. This is a must-read novel, as it will keep you on the edge of your seat and eager to know how it really all blew up. Will Amir's family ever accept him? Will Amir ever live the life he dreams? Read this book by Arvin Armadi to find out. In our last book, Arvin Armadi used the words "How It All Blew Up" as the title of the book and to try to explain the chaos that occurred in Amir's life. In this next book, there is no metaphorical reference as things really did blow up. You are about to embark upon the Great Crusades. These are the famous words once said by General Dwight D. Eisenhower to the soldiers of the Allied forces. Little did these soldiers know that they were about to make U.S. history and represent an event known around the world as D-Day. The title of this book is Allies and is written by Alan Gratz. In this historical fiction novel, readers have the opportunity to see firsthand accounts of the soldiers, sailors, and civilians and their experiences who were on the battle lines when the French beaches in Normandy were invaded. While there were missions and battles occurring all over the world during this time, the perspectives within this novel highlight the bitter truth associated with war. No one is more blindsided to what war looks like than Dee Carpenter. Dee is a scrawny 16-year-old boy who is passionate about fighting the Germans. Dee does not have any desire to go home, and that is why he is also hiding a big secret. On the day of the invasion, Dee is expected to merge from the Higgins boat and advance past German forces to the beach. When the time came, Dee knew he was really going to have to fight for his life. Just like Dee, there are several other Allied forces and individuals who are passionate about a time when there is no war. Samara de Zane, a young girl whose mom was a spy for the French resistance, fought to escape an imprisonment situation. She depended on soldiers like Dee to fight the German forces and free all that were captured. While there were insiders and outsiders on the beach that day, there were also those who worked to bring good to the situation and help any way they could. Observing and or living in the event were the only perspectives that were at hand. Dee fought, Samara fought, and many others fought to make a difference and establish a situation where the Germans were no longer in control. For every inch gained, Dee felt as if they were pushed back several feet. The battling went on for several hours, but to Dee, it felt like days. He wondered if the war would ever be over, if they would succeed or fail. Samara wondered if her and her family would ever be free to roam and live as they once did. Lives are lost, lives are saved, and without the Allied forces, the battle never would have ended. This book opens eyes to a reality that many may find uncomfortable, yet there's an excitement behind the hope and determination of each character and their outlook on the situation. The author, Alan Gratz, uses historical events to make characters and the perspectives come to life. Dee is passionate about invading German forces, but is it going to take more than passion to win the war? Alan Gratz generated a story that speaks to readers on many levels. Even if you're not keen on historical fiction readings, this book will surely captivate you and anyone who is compassionate about helping others. Without these varying lenses that the author included in the novel, we would not be able to truly experience the story as it was intended. This novel is full of perspective and rich in detail, making it a highly recommended read. This book can leave readers like you wondering, did Dee ever share his secret and did it cause the invasion to fail? What happened to Samara and her family? Did things go the way they were planned? In order to find these things out, you must read the novel and embrace the perspectives incorporated throughout. In the previous book, Dee was a soldier who fought for his life on the front line of war. More often than we are aware, there are others across the world that fight for their life in a different way. In this next book, two family members fight for their lives and future as they run away from their home in hopes to start a new life. Fear. Fear can be defined as an unpleasant emotion that is usually caused by a belief that someone or something is going to hurt you. Fear can motivate individuals to endure things beyond their belief. Hope. Hope can be defined as a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. Hope can also motivate individuals to endure things beyond their belief. Jenny Torres Sanchez, the author of We Are Not From Here, highlights a true picture of what it means to have fear and to also have hope. This Pura Belpré award-winning Latinx novel conveys the hardships and realities of many individuals who are passionate about crossing the U.S. border to seek a safe and simple life. We Are Not From Here is not only the title of this book, but it is a saying that reflects hope and the ultimate dream that both Polga and Pequeña aspire to make come true. Polga is a 15-year-old boy who sees himself as a future artist of music. He lives with his mom and is aware of the realities that lurk around every corner of his town. He thinks he may remain untouched by the darkness until one day when his life changes and he has no choice but to be involved with the darkness. 17-year-old Pequeña is aware of the darkness too, but she cannot escape the darkness, and it eventually becomes part of her. Both Paula and Pequeña know that violence and evil run their lives. The darkness they fear is not only a metaphor, but a person who walks around and aims to control and ruin their lives. Because of this, they decide to run. Using plans and maps, Paula and Pequeña hope to have a new life once they cross the border, but they have to get there first. They walk, run, shelter in place, walk again, and run some more. Just when they think that they are close, the one thing that can take them to their freedom takes the only thing they have. The struggle and the pain they experience in their journey, will they be driven by fear or by hope? While the reason to run and the perspectives on life are different, there is one constant that drives their decision. Paula and Pequeña must decide if they want to continue their journey and live the life they want, or live the one where they know they will be alive. Jenny Torres Sanchez created a story that is painfully relevant today. This book provides an opportunity for readers like you to understand the reasons behind why people may not be from here. Understanding what life is like for Paula and Pequeña requires one to humbly view life through the lens of struggle and pain. Two kids are forced to grow up and make a decision that will affect their family, but ultimately save their life. Without these varying lenses that the author included in the novel, we would not be able to truly experience the story as it was intended. Walking a mile in each of their shoes allows for perspective that is disheartening and necessary. This gut-wrenching story is a must-read as it challenges the definitions of what it means to truly have fear, as well as hope. Will Paula and Pequeña make it to the border? Will they survive? In order to find out, read the story and embrace their feelings experienced throughout. Each of the novels mentioned today all cover diverse aspects that are based on real life. Without the perspectives featured in each, a reader may lack the opportunity to experience the characters' emotions at first hand. How It All Blew Up by Arvin Amati, LIS by Alan Gratz, and We Are Not From Here by Jenny Torres Sanchez are three great novels that have multiple perspectives, multiple individuals, all each viewed through a different lens. Much like life, we must remain aware of multiple perspectives, as viewing things through a different lens can ultimately shape who we are and how we view life. Thank you for joining me today to discuss these three wonderful books. We'll see you all next time.